Hello, May class, and welcome to your first science lesson from working from home. Today is going to be a cold task on our new topic, and our new topic is looking at living things and their habitats. So I want you to pause for a minute. If you haven't got a piece of paper and a pencil, go and pause the video and go and fetch that, or fetch something to write with and something to write on, and then come back and unpause the video, and then we can continue. Once you've got everything you need, we will have a start of our new topic. As I've just mentioned, today you're going to be doing a cold task, and the cold task is looking at living things and their habitats. That is the theme of our science topic this term. So for our cold task today, you're going to be thinking about what we already know about living things, what we already know about the habitats that they live in, and how they're related, and how they are different. So on a post-it note or a spare piece of paper, I want you to write down anything you may already know about living things and their habitats. I want you to think about what is a living thing? What classifies it as a living thing? Why is it living and why is it not non-living? Why does it have that specific habitat that it lives in? If you don't know what the word habitat is, maybe go and have a look. What is a habitat? Why do different living things have different habitats? So give that a think. And I want you to write down just a few ideas of things you already know about living things and their habitats and where they live. Don't forget, this obviously needs to be posted on Tapestry so that we can see what you have written. So remember, what makes a living thing? This is what we're thinking about. What makes it living? What living things do we know? What living things can we see? What is a non-living thing? What is the difference? Okay. So I've got a few challenges for you today. So I want you to think about what do you think a living thing is? So what is a living thing? Your second challenge is to name a living thing that lives in the forest. Name a living thing that lives in the park. Think about, is there a reason you have different living things living in different areas? So remember that it depends on their habitat. Their habitat is the area in which they live. We will go into this a little bit more, but what animals live in different habitats. So you won't find the same animal in the grasslands as you would in the polar regions. What do you think the reason for that is? You won't find marine animals in the rainforest or wetland animals in the desert. So this is all things that we would like you to start thinking about and start maybe doing a bit of research on it. But for now, we're just brainstorming what we already know. So our challenges, like I said, is the first challenge, what do you think a living thing is? All right. What classifies it as a living thing? Your second challenge is to name a living thing that lives in the forest, name a living thing that lives in the park. So I'm not going to say that a fish or a seagull lives in the rainforest, because I know that a seagull doesn't live in the rainforest. It lives by the ocean because it's a seagull. I know that I'm not going to find a polar bear in the desert. Is there a reason for that, do we think? So think it through. What living thing do you know lives in a forest? What living thing do you know lives in a park? Your third challenge is to have a look outside. If you're able to have a walk outside, that's fantastic. And see what things you can identify as living. Right? And I'd like you to make a little bit of a list of the living things that you can see outside. So if I were to make my list, I'm going to look out my window. So let's go have a look out my window. I'll lift this up. Okay. I think I'm going to write my first living thing I'm going to write is people, because someone's just walked past my house. Okay, so I'm going to start my list with people. If I go into a back garden, it may be a little bit different because often if you have a garden, maybe it's a private garden that nobody else shares or other people can't see into it. What living things do you have in your garden? Or what living things can you see out your window um, in the street or in the area outside your house? So have a look and give it a think. What do you think is classified as a living organism or a living thing that can be found outside of your house? As mentioned before, you need to be making sure that you are sharing all this information with us on Tapestry. So remember, there are 3 challenges that you are doing for me. Um, and then you are going to share those 3 challenges on Tapestry. Maybe you want to take a picture if you're able to. Maybe you want to share a picture of a living thing that you can see outside. Maybe you just want to make a list and draw some pictures that go with it of living things outside. So make sure to share this with us on Tapestry, and we will be commenting on it, and then we can chat about it in our live lesson.